What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikiPikaPapa, and I get so excited at the beginning of every single month. We have so much fun content, and I just really enjoy putting it together for you, and I think that's why I get all kinds of fired up in the very beginning. Now, obviously, this video, I always share with you exactly what I'm going after for the month ahead. I think we've got some really cool products on this list this month, and I can't wait to share them with you. But we also look at what's hot in the investing and grading space, right? We look at actual grading volume from PSA. We look at individual sets, we look at cards, we look at characters, we look at all kinds of stuff, which paints this big picture of what's going on in the macro level from the grading space. We also look at the top 10 cards that exchange hands the most on TCG Player, and what's really exciting is this is the beginning of a new quarter, so we're going to be updating our booster box projections, we're going to be updating our Pokemon Index Fund, all kinds of fun stuff. And I lead with all of this because if you've been watching the channel and you want to see all of this stuff and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments on this video, drop them down below. And as always, if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. Those three small things go a long way in helping my channel out, and I appreciate it more than I can possibly say. Now, getting into what's on the list this month, spoiler alert, there's also a sixth at the very end because there's a product that I'm waiting a little bit on, but I want to keep it top of mind, and I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts on it. But this is going to be a boring list, right? There's products on this list that we have talked about a lot over the last couple months, but I feel like the window of opportunity on all of these products are closing very quickly. I'm approaching it with some degree of from anxiousness, really, because I'm just waiting for them to flip to sold out. None of them are sold out yet, but I do think that these are awesome products from awesome sets from an amazing era that's going to give us a great opportunity for some long-term price appreciation. And as I said, I understand that if I want to add a little bit more of these, at least at the MSRP price point, to my Pokemon collection, I feel like the window of opportunity is closing and I need to act now, and that's why they're on the list today. So the first ones to me are the biggest no-brainers on the whole list, and that's Lost Origin booster boxes and Brilliant Stars booster boxes. I know not everybody has access to the Pokemon Center, but these are still available at MSRP on the Pokemon Center right now. And look at that Lost Origin market price from TCG Player coming in at $172, and this is still available at MSRP at the Pokemon Center, right? Like, I understand not everybody has access to it, but if you do, hey, you can pick this up for $145, and guess what? You've already got almost $30 of upside baked in. And the same thing with Brilliant Stars, not quite to the same degree, but it's going to be interesting to see how these two sets, you know, kind of mature over time. I think these two sets, Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, then I think you got Fusion Strike, and obviously you got Evolving Skies, at least in my mind, from the sets with booster boxes, the regular ones. I think those are going to be the big four from the Sword and Shield era. Chilling Reign is going to be a very close fifth, and that could definitely slide up the rankings into 4 or 3 or whatever. But I do think that those four sets, at least in my mind, have a great opportunity for some serious price appreciation. And again, these are still available at MSRP. Almost every time we see this happen, when we see the market price significantly higher than the Pokemon Center price, the Pokemon Center ends up selling out with a quickness, because why in God's green earth, if you have access to the Pokemon Center, would you go out and buy something for $170 when you can pick it up for $145 from a reputable source like the Pokemon Center itself, right? It doesn't make sense. So almost every time when we see this, this flips to sold out quickly, and that's why if I want to add any of these to the Poke Closet, if I want to get a couple more, at least at the MSRP price, I think that this is the opportunity to do it, because I do think that these are going to be sold out very quickly. And think about what Fusion Strike has done since it's flipped to sold out. Think of what Chilling Reign did as soon as it flipped to sold out. Think about what Evolving Skies is doing right now. Even though Evolving Skies has been sold out forever, it is just starting to really hit its stride, going up, I don't know, a couple $100 in the last 90 days. It is absolutely crazy. That tells me that people are starting to get really, really excited about Sword and Shield booster boxes as a whole. These two at MSRP is an absolute steal in my mind. Now, speaking of Fusion Strike, you know how much I love Fusion Strike, and I just talked about how the booster box has gone absolutely batty ever since it flipped to sold out. So in the upper right-hand corner there, I've got the booster box and I've got the price graph, but what isn't sold out are the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs and those 3-pack blisters. Now, we did a huge video the other day that talked about 3-pack blisters, and we went all the way back to Sun and Moon, and we talked about their price performance over time and how in the bigger sets, they actually have a great rate of return, right? And sometimes they actually mimic the exact rate of return of a booster box. Now, they cost an additional money to ship, store, whatever. There's obviously complexities with that, but if you're looking for a great buy and hold product, if you're looking for some awesome exposure to Fusion Strike and you don't want to pony up $220, $230 for a booster box right now, this is available at MSRP for $12.99 on the Pokemon Center, and guess what? The market price right there is $17. So again, you have upside built into it. Now, the Fusion Strike Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, again, I just have this feeling that once those products end up flipping to sold out, they are going to jump in price. Look, if you go back to March, April, May, June, July, I mean, this was a $70 box back then. Yes, it has dropped in price, but guess what? I think the excitement, I think the feverish around Sword and Shield products right now, especially around Fusion Strike, I think the minute this flips to sold out, you're going to see this absolutely pop off. Now, again, there's a little bit of upside already built into it if you can buy it from the Pokemon Center at MSRP. Not a ton, but there's enough in there to make it still worth your while. And again, we have seen this as a $70 box in the past. Back when this was a $70 box, Fusion Strike was only going for what? Look at that graph, like $135, $140. Now imagine when this goes to sold out and booster boxes are sitting there at $230, $240, $250. This is just going to fast follow on the way up. It might not happen immediately, it might take a little while, but I feel really, really good about this. Is an awesome way to add some increased exposure to Fusion Strike at an MSRP right now, which is really hard to find because Fusion Strike is just crazy in the booster box space. So the last one right here, it seems like I'm doing all of my shopping at the Pokemon Center this month, but when it's filled with products like this, I don't understand why you would go anywhere else. Like, why risk it when you can get this stuff straight from the source? But these Divergent Power Tins right here, this is the one that I particularly like the best. Talk about buying Evolving Skies at MSRP. You get 2 Evolving Skies, you get 1 Brilliant Stars, you get 2 Astral Radiance kickers. I do wish we had maybe Lost Origin in place of Astral Radiance or Chilling Rain, but you know, whatever. You can wish in one hand and poop in the other and see which one fills up faster, right? But I love this product at MSRP, coming in at $24.99. Again, you get awesome packs in here. I think there's a lot of upside to it. Once this sells out, I could totally see this. We've talked about, I did a video the other day where we were talking about Evolving Skies sealed product, right? And as Evolving Skies booster boxes get higher and higher and higher, I do foresee a lot of these products that have Evolving Skies booster packs in them, obviously following the trend and increasing in value as well. And this is a great way to get a couple Evolving Skies booster packs in it. You got Brilliant Stars in it, and I think a lot of us are sleeping on Astral Radiance. I don't know if it's going to be a top 5 set, but I certainly think it'll finish in the top 6, top 7 for Sword and Shield because it's got alt arts in it, it's got some great cards in it, and I could see that doing there. So again, great pack lineup available at MSRP. This is an absolute killer pickup there at the Pokemon Center right now. So the final one that I told you about is, listen, I've been very transparent. I am not big into the Japanese side of things. It feels a little bit bubbly to me. You know, ever since the PSA opened up their Japanese grading center over there, we have seen grading volume and Japanese cards go through the roof. We've seen their prices come down. So, you know, it's just something that I've been on the sidelines watching for a long time. And I got all this information here from PokeBeach, which is a great resource for anything and all things Pokemon. But I'm sure all of you are aware, we've talked about it a lot, is that Pokemon 151 in Japanese is getting reprinted, right? Now, it looks like it's going to end up in stores in May. But what I really liked about this is the detail down below where it talks about ever since the news of the reprint came out, right? The booster boxes were going for about $132 US, and it has dropped to $100. And this article claims that it thinks it's going to fall even further because booster boxes in Japan sell for about 38 US dollars. Obviously, it sells in yen over there, and I'm doing the US equivalents. But what I'm saying right now is this is a product that, hey, even though I'm not big into the Japanese space, I do think this is a strong product. And I do think if anything can buck the trend and get me into the Japanese space, obviously it's 151. I love the Master Balls. I love the art. I love everything about it. But I'm trying to figure out my entry point, okay? And I think if I can get these booster boxes here in the US, you're going to pay a premium for it, right? Obviously, they've got to import it over here. There's going to be some fees associated with that. I don't know what my entry point is. Is it $120? Is it $100? Is it $80 US? I don't know what it is. I'm not committing to a number right now, but I'm going to have to figure out because I do think that I would like a little bit of this in the collection because I do think from a long-term buy and hold perspective, 151 is just a different beast, and I do think this is going to do really well. So this is on my target list. I'm not saying I'm pulling the trigger. I'm going to wait. I do think, I don't know the market well enough, but if it gets sub 100, it would be really hard for me not to go ahead and pull the trigger and add a couple of these into the Poke Closet. So this is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, not pulling a trigger on, but I did want to call it out and mention it to everybody because we don't talk about Japanese products a ton on this channel, and I think this is something that we should definitely keep an eye on. So hey, listen everybody, as I said, we've got some really fun stuff coming up, including this Pokemon Index Fund update, which is coming out on Wednesday on 4/3. I can't wait for you to see it. I can't believe it's been almost a year that we have been doing this. It is a really fun video. It tracks some really cool products, some really cool singles. I think you guys will have a lot of fun with it. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below. And as always, if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. I appreciate you more than I can possibly say. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an epic one. Talk to y'all later. See ya.